Hi everyone, welcome back. I don't know why, but before even I started shuffling, I kept feeling this energy of somebody looking back at the past and realizing that things didn't turn out the way they thought they would. I feel like somebody made a decision, walked away, or chose a different path, believing that it was something or a right thing to do at that time. But now I am getting this overwhelming energy of regret. It's almost like somebody is being forced to look at their choices from a completely different perspective. Okay, remember these are general love readings, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and always trust your intuition above everything else. Something tells me that somebody is beginning to realize that some connections are much harder to replace than they ever imagined. So let's jump in and see what is really happening here. So we have got the Five of Cups in reverse, we have got the World card, and we have got the Six of Wands. Hmm. That's interesting. The first thing that's standing out to me is that somebody is finally coming out of a very dark emotional space. I feel like this person spent a long time trying to convince themselves that they were okay, that they had peace with their decision, or they could simply move on and leave this connection behind. But honestly, I don't think that they fully did that. Because what I am seeing here is somebody reaching a major turning point. The world card here tells me that a cycle is ending, but here's the thing. Endings have a way of, bringing some clarity. And I think that's exactly what's happening with your person right now. They're seeing things really differently. They're looking back at the past differently. And most importantly, they're looking at you differently. I wasn't expecting this, but I feel like your person is finally beginning to understand the significance of this connection. It's almost like as if they had to lose something, walk away, or experience life without you in order to truly appreciate what they had. So, your person truly underestimated you. They thought that they would eventually get over this. They thought that life would, simply move on. But something doesn't add up to this anymore. Because the more I sit with this energy, the more I can feel like your person is realizing that closing this chapter hasn't brought them any sort of fulfillment that they initially expected. And here is what surprises me actually. I think your person is becoming increasingly aware that you have changed. Hmm. Because you have grown and you are no longer chasing. You're no longer waiting in the same way you used to. And strangely enough, this transformation is making you even more attractive in your person's eyes. The tables may be turning because I feel like somebody who once felt very confident in their choices and is now questioning everything. And honestly, I don't think this realization is bringing them much peace. Well, there's another layer to the story though, because I want to know what this person has been struggling to admit to themselves. Let's see what this person is struggling to admit to themselves. So we have got the Eight of Cups, we have got the Ace of Swords, and we have got the Knight of Cups. I think this is the emotional truth your person has been trying very hard to avoid. Because Somebody here walked away believing that it was necessary. Whether they walked away physically, emotionally, or simply distanced themselves from this connection, they genuinely believed that it was the right thing to do at that time. But here's that what they're struggling to admit to themselves. Walking away didn't bring them what they thought it would. In fact, I feel like further they have gone from this connection, the clearer things are becoming. Because somebody has a major moment of clarity. I wasn't expecting this, but your person can no longer lie to themselves about how they feel. They know exactly what this connection means to them now, and they know what they have lost. Honestly, I think it's a very difficult truth for them to sit with. Your person actually, really miscalculated. They thought they would, leave these feelings behind. They thought they could simply move on and start over. But instead, they are being forced to acknowledge that their feelings never really went away. In fact, these feelings truly become even stronger with time. And this is where things have really become really interesting because I don't see that there is only regret here. I see somebody is wanting to do something about it. I see somebody is wanting to express themselves emotionally. I see somebody is thinking about reaching out, making an offer, or trying to reopen communication in some way. The problem is that clarity and action are two different things. Because while your person now understands what this connection means to them, I think they're also very aware that they may have hurt you really deeply. And they know that things have changed also. They know that you have changed. And I think they're questioning whether they still have got a place in your life or not. Something tells me that this person has a lot left to say, but fear may still be standing in the way. Let's see. So we have got the Queen of Swords, we have got the Four of Pentacles in reverse, and we have got the Ten of Swords. Well, I think we are finally getting to the heart of why this person hasn't acted on these feelings yet. Because the strongest energy I am picking up here is fear, deep fear. Your person knows that things are not the same anymore. They know that the version of you that they left behind no longer exists. You have changed, you have grown, you have become much more protective of your energy. And I think your person sees that very clearly. I don't think they know how to approach you anymore. Look at the Ten of Swords here. Somebody here is terrified of rejection. And the more I look at this energy, the more I feel like your person keeps imagining the worst case scenarios. They're afraid that if they come forward, they may hear something that they really don't want to hear. They may discover that you have moved on. They may discover that you have closed this chapter permanently. And I think this possibility is devastating for them. But here's the thing, despite of all the fear, I do see somebody slowly beginning to let go of the old defenses. I feel like your person spent a long time holding back, holding on to pride, holding on to control, or refusing to fully acknowledge what they were feeling. But that energy is changing because carrying this regret has become really exhausting for your person. Somebody can no longer pretend that they are unaffected. Somebody can no longer continue suppress their emotions, and honestly I think that is creating a lot of pain Because the strongest emotion coming through now is a heartbreak. Not just a heartbreak over losing the connection, but a heartbreak over realizing that they may have been responsible for losing you in the first place. Your person regrets their decision. They regret not seeing your value sooner. They regret believing that they had unlimited time. For some of you, I think your person is finally understanding that some endings do not happen overnight. They happen slowly, one missed opportunity at a time. Something doesn't add up here. Because despite of all the pain, I still don't feel like this story is completely over. I want to know what this person is most afraid of right now because I think that's where the real truth is hiding. Let's see what this person is most afraid of right now. Okay, so we have got the Page of Pentacles in reverse, the Queen of Wands, and the Seven of Cups. So, the strongest thing I am picking up here is that your person is afraid that they have waited too long. I think they are terrified that the opportunity to rebuild this connection may no longer exist. Because somebody here sees you very different now. They see your confidence, they see your strength, they see that you are no longer waiting in the same way that you once were. In fact, I think your person is becoming increasingly aware that you have stepped into a completely different energy. You have grown, you have changed, and this is intimidating them because here is what your person didn't expect. They didn't expect you to become the one with all the options. The more I look into the energy, the more I feel like your person is afraid that there may be other person who may be interested in you, or that you may have become simply outgrown of this connection altogether. Something tells me that your person keeps wondering, what if I am too late? What if they have already moved on? What if they no longer want me back? And honestly, I think these thoughts are just, consuming them. Because I see somebody feeling very uncertain about where they stand in your life right now. Your person no longer feels secure. Your person no longer assumes that you'll always be there. And that's creating a tremendous amount of confusion and anxiety. This is interesting because I think your person wants to come forward, but they don't know how. They don't know what to say. They don't know whether your efforts would even be accepted. And what about their efforts? Would you accept them? Your person thought that you would, just wait for them. Your person expected unlimited access to you, but the tables have turned. And now they're the one wondering whether they have lost their chance forever. I don't think this certainly is going away anytime soon because somebody here is still trying to figure out whether this connection can actually be repaired or not. Let's see if this connection can be repaired or not. So we have got the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. We have got the Three of Wands in reverse. And we have got the Nine of Wands. Too much of the Wands energy. Let's see. Well, that's interesting. I think the answer is yes. This connection can be repaired, but not in the way your person is hoping. Because the strongest energy I'm picking here is that things cannot go back to the way they were before. That chapter is over, and honestly, I think both of you know that. The more I sit with this energy, the more I feel like your person is realizing that whatever effort they put into this connection in the past simply isn't going to be enough anymore because you have changed. You are no longer willing to accept the breadcrumbs or the bare minimum. You're no longer willing to wait indefinitely for somebody to decide whether they want you in their life or not. I think your person knows that because this is interesting because I feel like your person may have been hoping that they could just come back and pick up exactly where they left the things off. But here's the thing, I don't think that this is possible. Too much has happened, too much time has passed, too much wounds have been opened, and they still need to be healed. And honestly, I think your person is beginning to understand that rebuilding this connection is going to require a lot of consistency, a lot of patience, and genuine effort that is put over a long period of time. Because I see somebody who still hasn't fully given up. I see somebody who is tired. I see somebody who feels emotionally exhausted. But I don't see somebody who is ready to walk away completely. In fact, the strongest message coming through is persistence. Your person may move really slowly. They may, even hesitate. They may struggle with fear and uncertainty. But I don't think they're ready to let this connection go. So the real question isn't whether this connection can be repaired. The real question is whether your person is willing to do the work that is necessary to repair it. Because the time is not unlimited. And this time, words alone won't be enough. Actions are going to matter. Consistency is going to matter. And honestly, I think your person is starting to realize that this connection needs a lot of effort. Your person is starting to realize that they may have to fight much harder for this connection than they ever expected. There's still one thing I want to know. I want to see what happens next between the two of you because I don't think the story ends here. Let's see what happens next between the two of you. Okay, so we have got the Fool energy in reverse. We have got the Seven of Swords in reverse. And we have got the Page of Cups. I do like the Fool's energy, but it is in reverse. Let's see. I don't think this person is going to rush back in. In fact, the strongest thing I am picking up here is caution, a lot of caution. Because your person knows that they didn't approach this connection the same way they did in the past, and now they even cannot. They know that impulsive decisions, avoidance, half truths, or inconsistent behavior are exactly what created the situation in the first place. And honestly, I think they're finally beginning to understand this. What really is interesting is that somebody here wants to come clean. Well, I wasn't expecting this, but I feel like your person is becoming increasingly uncomfortable carrying the weight of everything that has been left unsaid: secrets, avoidance, hidden feelings, things that were, never truly acknowledged. I think all of that is becoming very difficult for them to continue suppressing because the truth has a way of demanding to be spoken. And I think your person is reaching that point. I feel like your person wants a fresh start, but they're afraid. They're afraid of saying the wrong thing. They're afraid of being rejected. They're afraid of too much damage that has already been done. But again, here is the thing. Despite of all of these fears, I do see communication coming here. I see somebody is testing the waters actually emotionally. I see somebody is trying to reconnect, perhaps in a small and a very cautious way at first. This doesn't feel like grand gestures. This feels like much softer than that. Maybe a message, maybe an apology, a small conversation, an attempt to reopen the door that was once closed. And honestly, I think that this is something your person has been thinking about for a very long time. Your person regrets their decision, they regret underestimating this connection. And now they are trying to figure out whether vulnerability can succeed where pride actually failed. But here is what your person still doesn't know. They don't know whether you'll be waiting to take that risk with them again or not. I think that's exactly what's keeping them awake at night. Okay, there's one final thing I want to uncover because I want to know what your person would say to you right now if fear wasn't standing in the way. So we have got the Empress card in reverse, we have got the Five of Wands, and the Three of Pentacles. Well, that's interesting. I think if fear wasn't standing in the way, your person would finally admit that they know they hurt you deeply. Because the strongest energy I am picking up here is guilt. I think your person knows that the conflict, the confusion, the competition, or the circumstances surrounding this connection affected your self worth in ways that they never intended to. And honestly, I don't think they feel good about that at all. The more I sit with these cards, the more I feel that your person would say that I know that I didn't treat you the way you deserve to be treated. I know I created chaos where there should have been stability. I know that my actions made you question yourself, and I'm sorry about that. Because somebody here has finally realized your value. Your person sees you as somebody who gave a lot to this connection, somebody who showed up, somebody who invested emotionally, somebody who genuinely wanted to build something real. And here's what really stands out to me. I think your person regrets allowing all this conflict, the pride, and the outside influence, or their own indecision to destroy something that they had the potential to become much more. They thought that there would always be another opportunity waiting. They thought that they had more time, but now they're beginning to understand that not everyone waits forever. And honestly, I think that's a painful realization for them because despite everything that has happened, I still see your person waiting to rebuild. I still see them hoping that somehow, some way, the two of you might be able to work again together, communicate again, and create a new foundation together. So the problem is that your person also understands that rebuilding trust is going to take much more than the words alone. The problem here is that your person also understands that rebuilding trust is not easy. It's going to take a lot of effort, consistency, accountability. And I think for the first time, your person is finally beginning to understand that love isn't just about feelings, it's about showing up. And I think that's the lesson this connection came into their life to teach them. Anyways, remember that these are general love readings, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and always trust your intuition above everything else. If this reading resonated with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what's happening in your situation because I absolutely love reading your comments. Thank you so much for spending time with me today here at the Destiny of Oracles. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye bye.